Hey, what's going on YouTube? I know I said yesterday after my Yunalesca video that I wasn't going to be going back and showing any of my other clears just because I didn't feel like it was really necessary. After talking about it with somebody in Flip Methods Discord, it goes by the name of spiritoftoad. This one is a little bit different, obviously, because of the massive mitigation that Seymour gets. And so Seymour's a little bit bulky. And I was talking a little bit about how I did it, and just thought I would demonstrate it for spiritoftoad and for anybody else who is interested. Basically using the same team as I did for Yunalesca, just a little bit different. So let's go ahead and get into it. Here's the fight. And here's my team. So the main difference is that I'm using Yuna instead of White Dragon Ling. And Yuna's going to be capping with her LB. Really, we could put on a better Esper if we're really wanting to. Why don't we go ahead and do that? We'll put on a Spirit Esper. There we go. That's going to help her Spirit a little bit, I think. Let's see. Oh yeah, helps out her Spirit. So that's a fine change. Put on whatever good Spirit Esper you've got, and there you go. And then also, so we're set to light damage instead of lightning. Boss is weak to both, and we're going to be getting really good amps from Sylvie and from Esther. But then we really need to pump up Yuna's damage as best as we can, and this is going to boost it by 20%. So very nice there. Everybody else is pretty much doing the same stuff they did in the Yunalesca clear, except for Sky is going to be chaining with her LB as opposed to capping with her jumps. So let's go ahead and get into it, and we'll talk about it as we go. So Seymour starts the fight by putting up a really big mitigation buff that you cannot remove or decrease the duration of, so Kaito's buffs don't even help us here. Or debuffs don't even really help us here, which is fine. We're going to be fine without it. So first things first, Sky is going to shift and going to be using her Magnus and her two abilities just to kind of help out. Whatever, gives her a Reaper Killer buff, gives her attack buff. Doesn't really matter too much because we are going to be getting some of that from other places. Kaito's going to use Crashing Wave to apply breaks every turn. Yuna's going to use her regular Limit Burst. That's going to give Reaper Killer to the party. Sylvie is going to use Bolt Egg Basket, Elemental Petals, and Elemental Vines to increase resistances for the party. Esther in the shift form is going to be using Energizing Bunny for killers, and then Storm Guardian for mitigation buff, and then Electromagnetic Shield to put up Omni Cover. There we go. And Chizuru in the base form is able to do all kinds of things. We're going to go ahead and use Eastern Wind, Strong Samurai Spirit, and then Focused Spirit, which is going to help Yuna have a good spirit buff. Esther takes minimal damage. You can take up to 5,000 damage and still get a perfect score. But all the mitigations and the resistance buffs help Esther to kind of survive that and take very minimal damage. This turn, Sky's going to go back to the base form and just guard. Kaito is going to go to the base form and use Tyva's Spirit. Chizuru is also going to use Tyva's Spirit. Sylvie is going to shift up, and she's going to be giving us offense, defense, and Marion's Blessing Lightning. This is only going to give us this turn and the next turn because we're going to be capping on turn 3. So we're going to end up having a pretty good amplify for the party. Not her 100%, but still pretty good, and we're still going to cap, so it's all good. Esther is going to go to the base form and use True Storm Brand, Bolting Slice, and Calm Before the Storm. There you go. And Yuna is going to shift up and start prepping for her burst on turn 3. She's going to triple Staff Imperil, Believe, and then Hymn of the Faith Plus. So this is the upgraded version of her Hymn of the Faith from her upgraded STMR, so it boosts her modifier even more than it did before. Pretty nice. And here we go. So we'll just kind of trigger all that stuff. Esther is still going to be protecting the party. She's going to take a little bit more damage this turn, but not very much. And Sylvie is going to be provoking the death attack, which she's immune to. So Esther takes a little bit of damage. Sylvie provoked the death, which she's immune to, and we're all good. There we go. Now, at this point, go ahead and show the debuffs and stuff. Wind resistance is down, lightning resistance is down, water resistance is down. The only resistance we really don't have, which we could really benefit from, would be light imperil. We don't really have a light imperil for the boss, which that could increase our damage quite a bit. You could get that from a couple different sources. You could get that from Reagan the Returns TMR. You could get that from just like the imperil spell. You could have tried to change it up and use one of Yuna's abilities, but we really don't need it. It's going to be okay. So Sky's going to be capping with her LB. Kaito is going to be, or not capping with her LB, she's going to be chaining with her LB. Kaito is going to be chaining with her. Esther's going to be chaining with Chizuru. Shifted LB. There we go. Yuna is capping with her LB, and Sylvie is just going to use her LB to boost everybody up. So we're going to start with that. Sky and Kaito are going to start our chain. We're going to wait a couple seconds. Esther and Chizuru are going to finish our chain. And before we send anybody, we're going to send Yuna first. So we'll send Yuna. We're going to wait. Chain and chain. And we're looking for 1.8, 1.9 billion. $1.8. Yep, pretty average. You don't need a big, flashy, massive numbers clear. You know, you can get a cap here with 1.8 and move on with your day. Here we go. So we obviously could have worked in more damage with Yuna if we had brought a light imperil. But otherwise, you know, she does just fine. You know, we're hitting the cap. We didn't take too much damage with Esther. We took under the 5,000, so we're just fine, and everybody else is fine. We did everything the way we needed to, so that's a perfect score. So that's how we did it. I'll go ahead and show you the gear, and we can talk about replacements and stuff too. So let's go ahead and get into this. So let's talk about Yuna first. Her base form does not matter, you know, whatever. She's just wearing a vision card that has spirit and LB damage on it. Doesn't even have to be that. Just spirit's fine. Gear, she's got Seymour's staff upgraded. She's got a bunch of evocation stuff. She's got her own STMR because she's using the Hymn of the Faith. She's got summoner stuff and spirit, and then a spirit vision card. Ends up looking kind of like this. 285, 225, 300% LB damage boost. Does pretty well. Obviously, we could have done better. Like I said, we could have used... where is it? She's got... I thought she had something that reduced light damage. I guess she... Or light resistance. I guess she doesn't. We could have brought a light imperil. And that would have been good. But in general, we're doing pretty good there. So I guess we could have put that on somebody. For example, we could have put it on Sky on her turn 2. Well, no, she doesn't. She can't do it. So I guess we could have just given Sky the imperil spell somehow, or somehow gotten Sky a light imperil, and that would have helped. So that's Yuna though. Whatever. Let's talk everybody else. Sky is replaceable. Anybody who can chain with Extreme Nova and just do some nice damage is helpful. Here's how she's built for her base form. You know, there you go. And there you go. Kaito in the base form just has Typhus Spirit. And there we go. There we are. Already talked about Yuna. Sylvie has passive Provoke and Death Immunity, and that's it. Not even wearing a vision card. She's not contributing to damage at all. So she's just got Death Immunity and passive Provoke. That's all she needs. Doesn't have to be these two items. It can be any items you want. Just 100% Provoke and Death Immunity. Alright, so Esther, here she is for her damage form. Whatever. Just gearing for damage. She's not the #1 source of damage, so it doesn't matter too much. Try and get Reaper Killer and Human Killer, just all the stuff you kind of need, right? And vision cards. It's gear her as much as you can. Chizuru, her shift form, was wearing a bunch of spirit stuff. And resistance to fire and dark, but otherwise we are getting buffs from Sylvie, so it's all good. Yeah, there we are. And she's got just a bunch of spirit and guts and auto buffs and normal stuff for tanking. There she is. And then, like I said, her base form. Cool. And Chizuru in the base form only had types of spirit. And then in her shift form is geared more for like normal fighting stuff, right? Could have been better. There she is. She's wearing the cool Smile Vision card. And again, geared for normal stuff, killers and LB damage, and yeah, true double hand. And mine's not EX3, so she is wearing a Magister's item for chain cap up, because yeah, mine's not EX3. So there you go. There's my Seymour Flux clear, using Yuna instead of White Dragon Lee. But like I said, it's the same basic party as the Yunalesca clear. We just changed up our strategy a little bit. That's all I got for this particular video. I hope that helps, Spirit of Toad. And we will see you guys all in tomorrow's video, Tuesday Preppers, coming out, whatever the new event is going to be. We're going to be talking about it. So be sure you check that out tomorrow if that's the kind of thing you're into. All right, take care.